You're listening to the Live Free podcast. I'm your host, Christine, certified life coach, pain to power mentor, and creator of Embody You Mindset Mastery School. I'm here today to discuss living life after disease, disaster, or adversity, to discuss living life fully once again, a life of hope, peace, and resiliency, a life fully embodied. I utilize the lessons that I learned going through not one, but two primary cancers. I'm here today to guide you to the life of your dreams, turn your pain into power, and lead you back to yourself. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Live Free podcast. I'm your host, Christine, and today I want to dive into a little bit of why I have been absent and why my podcast has been quiet. So, it has been a long and beautiful rest period since probably the middle of December, and it is now the middle of January, even coming into the end of January. And I have done very little with the podcast. I haven't shown up a ton on my Instagram, and therefore my Facebook, and all of those sorts of things. So what have I been doing during that time? I have been reshaping and reforming the type of business person that I want to show up for you, and how I can show up for you as a educator and as someone who can guide and lead you to your own potential and all of those sorts of things. So what are the changes that you are going to see among the Live Free Wellness podcast, the Instagram page, Facebook, and pretty much any other place that you might see me? You are going to start to see more authenticity. You are going to start to see who it is that I am, as opposed to who it is that I was trying to emulate without even realizing it. And what that is I am a very emotional, very thoughtful, very kind person. And there was a period of time where I was starting to move into following some of my mentors, into be a little bit more fun, playful, little more showing you what I have in life and what my situation is like, and showing you the adventures that I go on and all of these sorts of things. And it started to feel very inauthentic and tiring to be emulating somebody who is not me. I am, to my core, a helper. I love to help people, and I love to speak philosophically, and I love to rest, which is evident by my silence. And I love to be at home, and then I love to travel, and I go through these spurts. And it's been quite the journey to understand the type of business person that I would like to show up as. And at the beginning, it's just kind of, we're following all these gurus and you're following all these people and you're trying your best to be and do and have the type of person that you want to be. And what it's landed me up with is it's time to come back to authenticity. It's time to come back to the philosophical, kind, giving, thoughtful, giving away free, helping kind of person that I am. That's what I love to do. So I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to trust that the universe is going to take care of me, and that there is ways in which I will build on my monetization and making this a business that is free-flowing and helpful for my life, but that is rooted in service. And that is what is most important to me, is serving. So that's why I'm here. That is why I do what I do. I want to serve, and I'm going to continue to serve you in such a way that is going to be helpful. And I'm going to trust that the monetization options that I put out there are going to trigger for you, you're going to say, that, yes, I want that, or you are going to say, no, I don't, or you're going to follow me for a period of time, and then you're going to say, you know what, I see so much value that now I want to work with her, or whatever, or maybe you always and forever just enjoy my free content, and that means that I helped someone, and that's what matters to me. So now this is my plan. So they got me thinking about authenticity, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about authenticity and being authentic to you. So we all get stuck in this comparisonitis. Including me, we get stuck in watching people online who have done it, and it just looks so easy, and they're so fit and healthy, and or if it's something that you're wanting, which is they are so confident or such good speakers, or if it's something that you're wanting, they're such good entrepreneurs and they're making so much money. Whatever it is that you're following, you are, no joke, my friend, in comparisonitis. You are wanting what they have. And I want to talk about when you are in the energetics of wanting what somebody else has, you are in a state of lack because they have it and you don't. And when you're in that state of lack, then what you get and what you perpetuate is more lack, because it's coming from a place of, I do not have this. And when you're in a place of scarcity, you produce nothing more but more scarcity. So, authenticity is the key here. Who are you? And whether that be in business, or whether that be in your family, in your friends, in your job, and coming back constantly to, who am I? Getting out of your head. Your head tells you that you should be, there's a long list. You should be, in my case, creating things for people to purchase. You should be setting up a masterclass. You should be setting up a email list and an email funnel, and you should be creating specifically tailored reels or specifically tailored Instagram lives, or specifically tailored podcasts, or whatever it is. And if you're just showing up without a plan, you'll never get anywhere. And I'm learning that in fact it's the opposite. Having a perfect Instagram is not helping me have a better business or create more followers. Instead, creating massive value for people so that they understand, learn, and trust me is going to be where I'm truly serving, and therefore the universe will take care of me on a monetary level. So it's the same for you. If you are coming at it with a plan, life, whatever life is for you, if you're coming at it with a plan, you're in your head. And I invite you to drop into your heart and to be in a place and in a space of unending intuition and authenticity, and just keep coming back to that. When you're in your head, you think to yourself, well, today I should do this and then this and then this, and when I get that going, then I'm going to create this. And what I'm learning is that when you're stuck in your head like that, you are truly just on a loop. You're not doing anything that's creating results, because the energy that you're coming into it with is a need and a lack of results. So in order to get those results, you should do this, that, and the other thing. And it comes off as inauthentic to people. They can feel your energy. Make no joke, we are connected people. So it's so important that as you're moving through life, in whatever capacity you're moving through life, whatever it is that you need right now, that goal setting is great. Desires are great. I have a goal setting course for that specific reason, because you need to know and get clear on what it is that you want. But then the really important one is releasing the detachment or the attachment and detaching from the outcome, the timeline of the outcome, releasing and letting these things that you would like and getting clear on your desires. And then instead saying, okay, this is what I want, and I know this is what I want. This is the energy of what I want. But then showing up authentically as yourself, following your bliss, following the nudges that are telling you to do this, that, and the other thing. Because if you think about things from a logical level, you're going to produce logical results. So meaning, if it takes forever for something to come to fruition according to logic, then it will take forever for you. But if you want the timeline to be moved up, if you want excitement and change and good things to happen for you, then instead release the timeline. Allow it to be quicker or slower, and release that attachment. And when that happens, you open up a space. You're no longer in a place of lack. You're no longer in a place of desire and need. And instead, miracles can start to happen for you. So it's this coming back to authenticity, this coming back to who it is that you are, and just showing up every single day as who it is that you are. And trusting, coming from a space of love and compassion and excitement for who it is that you are. And trusting that when these nudges come up, and when these experiences come up, and when these opportunities come up, that you are going to choose. Releasing that, is this meant to be, and this meaning making of, this showed up for me today. Is that mean that I should be doing this? Releasing that. Throw that out with the bathwater. Instead, seeing that maybe your angels or the universe or somebody is trying to get your attention, truly, so that you can fall back into your authenticity again and again and again. And when you follow your bliss and you do the things that you want to do, and you're true to yourself, that is when these weird Twilight Zone, I don't even know how that happened, things pop into your reality. If you are in your head and planning and strategic all the time, and that's not to say you shouldn't be in your head for a period of time while you're trying to understand what it is that you want, but if you're always in your head, you will always get head-related results. So if you say, today I'm going to start being more healthy, and I've created this resolution, this New Year's resolution, and I'm gonna be more healthy, and how I'm gonna do that is by doing this, that, and the other thing. Well, that's good. That's a good start. But what you may miss between all of that is if you say, I'm going to run. And that's how I'm going to get healthier. I'm going to get up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and I'm going to run. If you instead get up the next morning at 5 a.m. with the intention to exercise, and you ask yourself, you put your hands on your heart and you say, What do I want to do in order to create health in my life today? And then if the answer is dance, then you dance. If the answer is run, then you run. And if the answer is today I need to meditate and exercise isn't there for me yet, then you meditate instead. You nourish your mind instead. And I want you to think about that each day, every day, when you are presented with a choice, to drop into your body instead and put your hands on your heart and ask yourself the question, what do I want? Not what do other people want me to do? Not what do I think I should do based on comparisonitis from watching people on Instagram? But instead, what do I want to do? And if you can sink into that authenticity, if you can answer yourself from a place of non-judgment, that is when the miracles will start to happen for you, my friend. It took me a good portion of time to figure this out. And that's okay. Because I'm in my authenticity now. And I was in my authenticity then in that I needed to learn a lesson. And maybe the hard way. I pushed too hard for too long in a period of time. I sat in discomfort for what people might think. I followed other people that were different human designs than me. And now, through experience, maybe the hard way, I'm learning that authenticity is number one for me, and that showing up as who I am is the type of person that I want to be. I have no idea what's on the other side of this, and I'm so looking forward to when I go back and listen to this one day and say, I had no idea what was coming. Because it's going to be beautiful. Because I'm going to continue to show up for you as me. And I want you to do the same. I want you to ask yourself today, when you're presented with a choice, instead of asking yourself, well, what's meant to be? Because honestly, that sort of thinking is keeping you in your head. Instead, I would like to ask you today to put your hands on your heart and ask yourself, take 3 deep breaths, close your eyes, find a space where you can do this. 3 deep breaths, doesn't take long, and ask yourself, what do I want? Who do I want to be in this experience? What lights me up? And then answer the question. And I know this goes against the grain. You're sitting there, you're listening to me, and you're saying, wow, that's all well and good for you, Christine, but I have a boss. I have kids. I have a family. Okay, yeah, I understand. But I guess the question that I would ask you next is, where do you want to be in 1 year? Still listening to your boss's timeline? Your family's timeline? Or do you want to be listening to yours? Do you want to be in authenticity for yourself? Do you want to follow your bliss and have amazing miracles show up for you? Ponder that question. Really sink in. And if the answer is that you would like to live in your bliss, which I suspect it is, then ask yourself the question every single time you're presented with a choice. Who do I want to be? I love you guys. Take care. Thank you so much for listening. If you found expansion with this last episode, then that means that others will too. And the best way to get the word out about the podcast is by leaving a review. I would be so grateful if you could leave me a review and let me know how you felt about the podcast. Included in the show notes will be everything that we talked about today, including all of my transformative programs. Change is just on the horizon, my friend.